Hey there. Sorry here. Sorry this took so long. It's been a bit busy, but I finally think I have a fairly optimized rank 1 team with Lightning, Esther, and Sky as our primary DPS units. So this is the team. If you saw my previous video where I did my damage test clear, this is the team that I got rank 1 with. And it was pretty fun. You know, when I first went in, I just went in blind and, you know, kind of worked my way through it. It's kind of nice that Gumi bugged the scoring system so that the 10 turn clear isn't like a thing anymore. So you can kind of take as long as you want, which is kind of nice. I prefer it if they would just kind of take this as a lesson in you know, just doing away with that 10 turn count score, because it was actually a lot of fun just sort of like figuring out the boss along the way. And I didn't mind that it took, I think my initial rank 1 clear took like 16 turns. And it was actually kind of fun, you know. It reminded me of, you know, old trials where, you know, you weren't just going in and slamming it and there wasn't like pressure to, you know, try and get it within a turn count. It was just like, hey, you know, it's gonna take however long it takes to get it done. So I really enjoyed that, and I think if Gumi takes anything away from this little mishap with their bug, it's that I think they should just do away with the turn count score from now on. You know, these bosses are getting like, you know, a base HP of 3 billion, and with all the mods turned on, it's like 10 billion HP. It's like even with leader skills, you know, and unless you have the like exact right units, it's you know, I don't know. Turn counts have always been just a bit arbitrary to me. It just seems silly, just like this artificial pressure to, you know, pull the latest unit, which of course I know is the Gumi business model. They want you to pull the latest units to make sure you get it done. But anyways, I digress. That's a separate rant on its own. Let's get in here and let's see how we get this rank 1 done. All right, turning on all the mods. 350% is your total bonus. Here's the team. So as I showed you before, I'll show you the gear at the end because, you know, there is a little bit of RNG factor just with regards to the zombie, which happens, the zombie starts occurring after you hit the HP lock, because that changes the AI of the boss slightly, and it starts to include zombie every 3 turns in its AI. And so yeah, there's a little bit of RNG in there. It is a single target zombie, which is nice, but it's random who it picks. Can't be provoked, it's just totally random. It just picks one party member every 3 turns to zombify them. And it usually ends in death. And so, you know, I mean, it's not a bad thing to recover from, which is again why I like that there's no turn count mission on this one. Because it's not difficult at all to recover from it. Even if Abby is the one that gets zombied and ends up dying from it due to like heals or re-raise or whatever, it's actually not that difficult to recover from. But I'll show you as we get in there. So let's get in there, make sure we get it done first, and then I'll show you the gear at the end, all right? All right, so the first 5 turns are going to look very similar to what I showed you before in my 225% bonus clear. All right, very, very similar to what we saw earlier. So Sylvie's just going to start with Compassionate Night. That's for break and ailment resists. Elemental Vines for magic mitigation, and Paladin's Resolve for some regens. That's just to help make sure Abigail has enough HP at the for the first turn, because the first turn is probably the most dangerous turn in the whole fight. It's a lot of strong AoE magic attacks, and so Abby just needs to make sure that she's ready for it. So she's going to use Methodical Mitigation, Contingency Plan, and she's actually going to do a Curaga just to make sure she has enough HP. Okay, Lightning She's actually going to do a Kiraga as well. It's nice she has some heals in her kit. A Rusty Engine for the mitigations. And the whole world is against us. We're going to go ahead and do her mod boost here. Okay. All right, Kaito starts in normal form with the Empress's Rod for the turn 1 morale fill. Okay, Kaito is just going to do Crashing Waves, Destabilizing Deep Submersion. Esther does all of her like little cooldowns. So she's going to hit the boss with lightning so that we don't get the counter. The counter attack, by the way, if you don't hit it with lightning, wind, or dark, is it does that 90% gravity attack again. So that is the punishment for not hitting it with a counter, or sorry, for not hitting it with a weak element. Okay. Okay, so there you see why, you know, we need to heal up Abigail. But after this, like, she pretty much takes care of her own healing. It's not a problem at all from here on out. Now you can already see probably why the zombie is a problem, because Abigail is built for counters. We need that so that she's like constantly refilling Sky's LB, because Sky wants to unload her LB as often as possible. Also just to keep herself healed. Sylvie is also built for counters, and that's sort of my countermeasure for that. Because on the turn when, well, the way that I've structured it, the way that when the boss does the zombie attack, he also does 2 single target physicals. And so Sylvie has double Blizzard Orbs and Cypher's Coat, so that she can basically, you know, ideally she wants to counter both of those physical attacks, so that the person that gets zombied dies and then gets raised immediately afterwards. It does work, unless of course Sylvie is the one that gets the zombie, so there's always that chance. All right, Sylvie's going to do Burgeoning Defense for some morale fill and mitigations. She'll do Elemental Petals. Oh, what did she do? Oh yeah, Burgeoning Defense. We don't need Elemental Petals. We're going to do Paladin's Defense for the Mirage. All right, because she cannot tank the single target physical. She will die. So she needs Mirage for those single target physicals. All right, it's just two single target physicals like every 3 turns. So she should be able to handle that just fine. All right, Bolt Egg Basket to imbue everybody. Okay, Lightning. We're just going to chain it up here for Esther. Boom. Oh no, we need to do triple. Yeah, we need to do triple Bolting Strike. Alright, because Esther's going to do her LB, Sky's going to do another LB. Abigail needs to do her cover, and then just, yeah, anti-magic, anti-physical for, just for morale fill. Okay. She can go ahead and do that. So Esther goes first to set up the field, followed by Kaito and Lightning, and then Sky. And this isn't going to do a whole lot, maybe like, yeah, 5 or 6%. It's just chip damage. All right. The idea is you want to try to get somewhere into like the low 80s by before you do your burst turn on turn 5, just to make sure that you hit the 50% HP lock on turn 5. That's pretty critical for this strategy, because it just sets up everything nicely for the second phase of the fight. All right, Abigail, we'll do her SLB. If you don't have an EX3 Abigail, I would still go ahead and do her LB for at least the 80% general mitigations. It's good for the party because the boss, you know, certain points during the fight, the boss is going to do a magic damage over time to the whole party. So the party does need to make sure they have general mitigations and magic mitigations up pretty much throughout the fight. So it's a good idea, even if your Abigail's not EX3, go ahead and use her LB on this turn, just for so we have, you know, some mitigations here. All right, she's going to go ahead and do that. Lightning is going to do her LB here. Kaito is once again just going to do, oh, let's do Deadly Stream, Double Deep Submersion. Esther's going to shift. Do Triple Shatterbolt for some morale fill. All right, Sky's not quite filled up, is she? That's all right. We might actually be able to finish topping her up here. We do need to start our lightning ramp on this turn. How close is she? She only needs 10, so let's do Marion's Blessing, Clever Paladin Strike, Cheerful Paladin Strike. There we go. So Sky can drop another LB. All right. And yeah, let's see how we do. This isn't going to be a huge, huge burst by any means, but it should get us down into like the low 80s. That's the hope. It should do at least, I think, like 10%. So let's see how we do. Yeah, there we go, 83. That's a good spot to be, 1.1. All right, so now we're just prepping for our big burst. Okay. How I Live is up to me. Lightning is not going to use her 150 amp. We're going to rely solely on Sylvie's 100% party amp. We want to save this for later when we're just trying to finish the fight a little bit quicker. So we're going to save that. All right. And then, well, yeah, we'll just hit the boss. All right, Kaito will do Torrential Downpour for the killers, and then Double Deep Submersion for, because we've already done our defense break, so Deep Submersion for morale fill. Sky is going to come back to normal. Use Tyvis' Spirit. Esther will come back to normal, and just do her usual setup. Sylvie is going to do I've Got Your Back on Lightning. That's more for the morale fill than anything else. We'll use Not So Fast to get rid of the attack and mag breaks, and Cheerful Paladin Strike for morale fill, because the boss has put up an attack and mag buff. You want to make sure you get rid of that. Abby can probably still tank it because of all the mitigations she has up, but you know, why risk it, right? Maybe your Abby's not as strong or not as bulky or whatever, so why risk it? Okay. You could also have Abby perfect dispel them away if you want Sylvie to do more morale fill on this turn. That's also something you can consider doing. So Abby has two forms of perfect dispel with SP Drone Type F and Enemy Data Analysis. Either one of those will dispel that attack and mag buff. So that's just another option if you need Sylvie to do something else. Okay. And actually, do either one of those come with morale fill? It might actually be smarter now that I think about it. Okay, now that does 200, and that does 200. So why don't we? Yeah, why don't we just let's do that instead. Let's do drone cover. We'll do anti-magic and enemy data analysis. That way, Sylvie can do 2 cheerful paladin strikes. So we'll do that. Just to maximize, because Cheerful Paladin Strike does 350, so it'd be better to have an extra one of those. Yeah, so that's probably the most optimal morale fill scenario here. Okay, so let me make sure I've done all that correctly. I think so. And we should easily hit 200% morale this way. All right, a little extra chip damage. Okay, ready for the big boom. All right, make sure you shift sky. That's important. I've made that mistake before. It sucks. All right, Kaito does his LB to chain with Esther. Sylvie does her brace shifted LB. Lightning does her LB. And then Abigail's going to just get ready to do triple bar Fire Raja to refill some LB. Just to, you know, get everybody sort of ready for the turns to come. All right. So, I think we're good to go. Everybody's buffed up. We've got our breaks. We've got our killers and perils. Everything's looking good. All right. So let's do it. Start lightning. Let her wind up. Okay. I've been averaging like 3.5 billion on this burst. So even without lightning's 150 amp, should still be enough. All right. Yeah, 3.5. That's pretty typical. So there you see, boss heals up 50% HP, which is basically back to full. That's the gimmick that Gumi is using to try and get you to pull for the new unit, which has the healing reduction on the boss. You can also use Melissa for that. So yeah, that's the gimmick that Gumi is using to try and force you into a dark team with like Melissa or the new Elisperis. But thankfully they bugged it so that it doesn't matter. You can take as long as you want to finish the boss off from here on out. All right, as long as you can manage the AI. Okay, so the boss has put up a full buff. Okay, that is an undispellable full buff. All the other buffs the boss puts up throughout the fight are dispellable. This is the only one that is not dispellable. So this is where Kaito really comes in handy, because he can use Unpredictable Tide to roll those back. I'm also going to use Crashing Wave because the boss is going to put up on this turn. The boss is going to put up a 100% elemental resistance buff on itself, and so I'm going to go ahead and do Crashing Wave so that that gets dispelled next turn, so that we don't have to worry about that. And then we're going to do Torrential Downpour for the killers, for the killer buffs for everybody. Okay. Yeah. So that does that. All right, Abigail. Methodical Mitigation, basically the same. We're basically just kind of restarting our rotation here, except this time we are going to do drone cover. Okay, Sylvie's going to come back to normal so that she can do Compassionate Night for ailment and break resist, Elemental Vines for magic mitigation, and we're going to do Paladin's offense for the attack and mag buff and the LB damage buff. All right, Sky on this turn. We'll just do Sharp Spear, Severe Squall, and Furious. Skyfall, Esther will do True Stormbrand, Energizing Bunny, and Calm Before the Storm. Lightning will do In Thundaga to imbue everybody. Rusty Engine for the mitigations, and The Whole World is Against Us to re-up her modifier buff. Okay. So the next instance of zombie is going to be on turn, or sorry, I should say the first instance of zombie is going to be on turn 8. The nice thing about doing your burst to the HP lock on turn 5 is that is actually the first turn where the AI would start zombifying your party, but by hitting the HP lock you actually skip that one, so that way you can sort of delay the zombie until turn 8, and then it does it every 3 turns after that, so like 8, 11, 14. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm just double checking myself, make sure that I am looking good. Okay, I think we're all good to go there. So you see that Trinity Wall. Trinity Wall is the lightning, wind, and dark buff, elemental resist buff that it does on itself. All right, so you got to make sure you dispel that before you try to do any damage to anybody. Okay, Sylvie is going to come back. All right, we're going to do her Brave Shifted LB because we're going to go ahead and do a burst here. Abigail is going to... We're basically just doing a bunch of LBs here. All right. Yeah, it looks like everybody does their LB on this turn. Just making sure that we're good there. Yep. Okay. Abigail will give everybody the mitigations. So even if your Abby's not EX3, use her normal LB on this turn so that everybody has the mitigations. All right, since we used drone cover last turn, we don't have to worry about re-upping her magic cover. All right, she's got that on lock. All good there. Okay. We are going to save the next ramping amp for after the first instance of zombie, so we're going to do Sylvie's next lightning ramp starting on turn 9. Okay. And just double checking. Yep, I think we're all good there. And I'm not too worried about not having the 90% break. Higher breaks don't equal a whole lot more damage in Clash of Wills because the bosses have such high passives. So an 88% break is going to be perfectly fine. And yeah, we've already hit our damage cap. So really at this point, we're just, trying to survive long enough to kill this boss at that, basically what it amounts to. All right, I'm just making sure Sky is in her Brave Shift form. And we should be good to go. All right, let's see how this goes. Nice. All right. Excellent. All right. The boss also likes to hit you with a lot of morale on this one. So, yep, just be mentally prepared for that. All right. So somebody's going to get zombied on this turn. There's no getting around it, and someone's probably going to die. The hope is that it's someone like Sky or Esther. Those are easy to recover from. Even like Lightning or Kaito. The nice thing is Lightning has full life in her kit. I gave Kaito Phoenix Esper so that he can raise somebody if need be. The ones you really don't want it to land on would be Abby or Sylvie, but we can make do if it lands on one of them, and I'll show you how we manage that when we get there. All right, so Kaito is on this turn going to. We're just going to do some morale fill on this turn and chain it up so that Sky has someone to cap with, and I think we're just going to do more chaining because we definitely, even if these cooldowns were up and ready, we wouldn't want to use them on this turn because the potential that Lightning gets zombied. Okay, Sylvie needs to do Paladin's Defense. All right, so the hope on this turn is that somebody but Sylvie gets zombied. Sylvie's going to provoke the 2 single target physicals, and she's going to raise and re-raise that person. She's going to proc her counter twice, basically, to bring that person back to life. Okay, I think on this turn we're just going to do some morale fill as well. Oop, that's not what I want. So Paladin's Defense, Elemental Vines, and let's just do Elemental Petals so we have all of our elemental resist covered. All right, and that'll also help refill our morale gauge because, as you can see, we are below 200% now. All right, Abby will do. Let me double check, make sure the boss doesn't have any attack mag buffs up. Gotta watch that. Okay, so Abby can just do drone cover, and yeah, we're just doing morale fill here. Okay. I think that's think that's good. Yeah, we have our killer buffs. Okay. And yeah, I think we just, from here, we just chain it up. Then, am I doing the right ones? Let's do Deadly Stream, Double Deep Submersion. That way we get the 90% break in there. Might as well. All right. And yeah, we should be good to go. Okay. We're just chipping away here, chipping away. All right, let's see who gets the zombie. This will be interesting. Sky got it. All right, so Sky's gonna die, and then hopefully get raised back up. Oh, she only did it once. Okay. No big deal. No big deal. Okay. So, Lightning will do full life on Sky. How I Live is up to me, and Elemental Burst Lightning, because Lightning is going to get ready to do a big burst next turn. Okay. All right, now Sylvie's going to come back and start the ramping amp. Okay. And we'll just do double cheerful to make sure we're keeping our morale topped up. Okay. So Sky doesn't have any kind of mitigations up, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do, we're just going to do Abigail's normal LB to make sure that she has good general and magic mitigation. Okay, it's, you know, I say only 80%, right? That should be good enough to make sure that she survives. You want to make sure everybody has good general and magic mitigation up throughout, because those damage over times at this point really start to hurt. I also need to double check and make sure the boss hasn't put up any attack and mag buffs. Nope, looking good there. All right, so yeah, we should be good. We'll go ahead and chain these guys up, and that should be, yeah, it should be good to go. Yeah, I think that's good. Let me just double check. Sorry, just gotta double check something, because I think I'm gonna have Abby do some chaining next turn. Okay. So yeah, what I'll probably end up having to do. All right, I'll just remember that. I'll just remember that for myself to make sure that we imperil fire for Abby. Also, just double check and make sure Abby is covered with all that. Yep, good. Okay. We'll do our attack and mag buffs. All right, and yeah, we'll just do a little bit more chip damage here. It's not going to be a whole lot because it's just Esther and Kaito, but you know, yeah, gets us down to 60%. That's good. All right, so there's that Trinity wall again. All right, so that actually, I forgot he's going to do the Trinity wall again. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to chain with Sky and Esther. All right, because we're going to have to perfect dispel that with either one, drone type F or enemy data analysis. We'll use drone type F in this case. All right, anti-magic. All right, Sylvie will do her Brave Shifted LB for the buffs. Kaito needs to re-up our killers. And then, yeah, we'll just do double deep submersion for the morale fill. Okay. okay? Because we want to make sure that lightning gets her LB off. Like that's, you know, the most important thing, because she has all of her buffs ready to go. All right, and we want to make sure that she is maximizing that. Okay, so we've gotten rid of the resistance buffs. Perfect. All right, Kaito can do torrential downpour. Do a little morale fill. All right, so yeah, we're just relying on Sky and Esther to chain here. And yep, hopefully lightning is good to go. We're ready to burst it up. Let's see, yeah, we've got our big sword in peril still. We've got, should still have her mod boost ready to go. Yeah, should be good. So hopefully she does a nice chunk of damage, gets us down, hopefully below like 40%. We'll find out. All right, close enough. Close enough. 1.7, not too bad. Okay. So Sky's ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. And then if I can get, I should be able to fill up lightning. All right, what's our general mitigation looking like? Reduces. Yeah, so that should last one more turn so that we can use her SLB next turn to fill everybody up. I'm gonna save all that just in case Abby is the one that, you know, gets knocked out. We should still have 3 Mirage stacks left on Sylvie, so she can continue to provoke the single target physicals. And so I think, yeah, she's just gonna do morale fill here. Does the boss have an attack and mag buff? No. Okay. Definitely got to check that every time. And would it be better for Sylvie to do? I think it would actually be better. Let's do, make sure we're getting rid of our breaks. Fines. And yeah, let's do that and have Abigail fill everybody up, because her cover is good, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, this way. Yeah, this way lightning can do another burst. I think that's the smarter plan. Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself here. So everyone should have the LB buff, right? Yep. Okay. So I don't need to do that. Yeah, I think this is the better plan. I think. All right. Yeah, let's see how we do. All right, and the hope is that this puts us in, you know, pretty good position to make sure we kill the boss before the zombie on turn 14. Because ideally you want to not deal with too many of these zombie instances, because there's always a chance it just totally screws up everything. And so yeah, you just want to try and deal as much damage as you can, as quickly as you can. All right, so the boss doesn't have any buffs of any kind, and we should be good to go. So let's see how we do. Nice, nice. All right, that's pretty good. I think we'll definitely have this thing, we'll definitely kill this thing by turn 14. Depends on who he decides to zombie, though. Who's getting the zombie? Oh, Abigail got it. Now, will Sylvie re-raise her? Yes. Oh, and then... Oh, no. Oh, wait, so did he... Oh, wait, did Abigail just die? Is that what happened? And then Sylvie got nailed? Okay, no big deal. No big D. Okay, so Abby is going to do her usual methodical mitigation, contingency plan, and drone cover. All right, to make sure we are good on that. The boss has put up attack and mag buffs, so do be conscious of that. We're going to use Kaito's Crashing Wave to get rid of that. We'll put up our killer buffs again, Deep Submersion for morale fill. All right, Lightning is going to do full life on Sylvie and Thundaga because we lost our Lightning Imbue. Sylvie was going to use Boltec Basket on this turn, but she did, so that ain't happening. All right, whole world's against us for her mod boost. Okay, and I'm actually going to, let's see, I'm going to... Do we all still have the damage over time? Yeah. It's possible some people might die on this turn. Hopefully not. So in that case, maybe I should do... What am I doing? Methodical mitigation, contingency plan, and... Let's do Shelga. That way everybody has decent magic mitigation. It might save the party from dying from the damage over time. We'll see. I'll put up the defense and spirit buff too, just to make sure. Okay, and I think that should be good. All right, Esther does all of her setup skills. Sky will come back and actually do Tyvus's Spirit. Get a little extra mod boost for next turn. And I think we should be good there. Okay, well. That 50% general and 75% magic was not enough to save everybody, but thankfully Sylvie was there with the re-raise from the turn before. Okay, Paladin's offense. Boltec Basket for the Imbue, and we'll just do Cheerful Paladin Strike because we've lost quite a bit of morale there. Do Drone Cover. Believe the boss has that. I know we used Crashing Wave on that, didn't we? Okay. Drone Cover, Anti-Magic, Anti-Physical, because I don't think she doesn't have any magic cover up, right? Yeah, no. So we definitely gotta reapply that. Yeah, so we'll just do some chaining. Actually, no, let's do, because we need to re-up the killers on everybody, don't we? So let's do that. Let's do Torrential Downpour, Deadly Stream, Deep Submersion, and since Sky bit the dust, I'm just going to have her chain on this turn so that we can at least chain with Esther's LB. Okay, and I think that should cover us. It would probably be better. Do Compassionate Knight, Bolt Egg Basket, Paladin's Offense. Okay. And then, yeah, I'm just going to have Kaito go. We'll do attack and mag buff, and yeah, we're just going to try and chip away here. Okay. So, yeah, we are going to get another zombie this turn. Let's see if we can potentially finish the boss here. There is potential to do that on this turn, since we have since we do have lightning ready to go. So 10%, that means we need to do 1 billion damage in order to finish that. I think we can do that, actually. I think we can do that. So yeah, 2 Paladin Sylvies. Everyone should be imbued with lightning, correct? Yep, because we did Bolt Egg Basket last turn. Everyone has their killers. Yeah. We don't have... Yeah, we don't have the big Sword in Peril. Lightning did lose her mod boost because she did die. But hopefully it'll still be enough to get us across the finish line. I guess we're going to find out, huh? But we do have our killer buffs up. So I think if Abby does her mitigations here... Yeah, will that do it? Guess we'll find out, huh? Alright, let's just do it and see how we do. Boom! There you go. Alright, 1.1. Nicely done. 14 turns. Well done, y'all. Alright. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do the chain score. Oh, that whole time. I knew I was forgetting something. Alright. Well, you guys make sure you don't forget to get 100 chains at some point during this fight. Oh my lord. I went through all of that and totally forgot to do my chain score. Anyways, you guys can learn from my mistake and make sure you do your chain score. Here's the damage breakdown. Obviously, Lightning leading the way. Sky also doing quite well because she just, you know, drops a lot of LBs. So does Esther. So, I mean, they're all kind of dealing pretty good damage there. Kaito just doing a little bit to bring up the rear. But yeah, definitely couldn't have done this fight without him. He's pretty crucial with the killers and dispels and everything. I cannot believe I forgot to do the chain score. I'm not going to go through and re-record this whole thing just to do the chain score. So you guys, I leave that up to you to remember to do your chain score. Oh, Lord. That is too funny. Because, yeah, that is the issue. That is the only issue with having Lightning and Sky, because their LBs are both like, you know, Lightning is a one-hit finisher, Sky is a two-hit finisher, and so yeah, you do just have to be conscious of that, of making sure that at some point during the fight you get your 100 hit chain. It can even just be like a setup turn where you're just, you know, you're like whatever, make sure you just do 100 chains at some point during the fight. That is too funny. I cannot believe I forgot that. Anyways, all right. Let's take a look at the gear. So Abby, Abby is our big mama tank. And so, yeah, just a lot of bulk. You honestly don't need that much elemental resistance. The boss only does, apparently the boss only does like a 100% imperil to lightning and dark. So like already she's pretty much geared for full resistance already. Like if I gave her 30% more lightning resistance, she would actually be totally resistant and wouldn't need any kind of you know, elemental buffs or anything like that. So yeah, the elemental damage actually isn't really the problem. It's the non-elemental damage that that really kills you. So in that, knowing that, the more important things are just to give her high HP, high spirit. All right. But here's the gear that I used. You know, I could swap out that Diablo synergy, for example, and do like, let's do Chains of Protection is a good one because it does, I think, 40%. Oh, Esther's got it. It only does 20%. All right, that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. You guys can figure that out. But yeah, if you have 200, well, so I've got the 100% element resist down activated, I think, right? And so yeah, so she needs 300 lightning and dark resist to be fully resistant to the magic without buffs. Okay, but we do have Sylvie on the party who's providing elemental buffs, so you don't really have to stress about it that much. All right, and then yeah, she's got this card. If you don't have this vision card, that's fine. Just put one that's got decent HP and spirit on it, just to really increase her bulk. All right, just the best bulk card that you have for her. Lightning. So we spent the whole time in a normal form. We never did go to her Brave Shift form because it's just not. It's not as good for, what am I trying to say? It's not as good for Clash of Wills because her Brave Shifted LB does not get the modifier boost in Clash of Wills. All right, so like her normal LB starts at a 350. If you have 200% morale, it gets an extra 231 on there, so that's a 581. And then if you add her own mod boost on top of that, that's a 701. And for the first 5 turns, it's an 801. So yeah, that first burst on turn 5 is pretty crucial because she's got the highest modifier there. But yeah, so you don't even need to gear her. There's no reason to be in her Brave Shift form ever during this fight. So then just plenty of Clash of Wills gear there. You know, whatever gear you have to cap up her killers. So she's got 300 Machine Dragon, 300 Reaper, 300 LB damage. And yep, this is the card from EX3 Elena. If you don't have it, just use the best card that you have for her in this slot. you know, highest attack, whatever. Just, yeah, give her the best card that you have, because she is your primary DPS. She's going to be leading the way for you. Esther is, you know, she is geared for damage as best that I could. She doesn't get all the best gear because she's not the primary DPS. She's more of the tertiary DPS. So lightning being primary, sky secondary, Esther tertiary. She does get the Magister's Ring for the chain cap boost, and then just, you know, as much high attack gear as I could put in there. Here's what I use to get her killers. Wing clipping is nice because it comes with some dragon killer. Obviously Dragon Killer Plus. Valued Memory is still great for the Machine Killer. And then her own vision card, because her own vision card does come with some nice killers, 50% to Machine and to Reaper, which is nice. So that's good on anybody, even if you don't want to use Esther for whatever reason, because you're crazy, then you can still use her vision card. It's really, really good for this fight, for those killers. So she's capped on Machine, Dragon, and Reaper. 350 LB damage, 400 TDH. She's good to go. I did gear her in her Brave Shift form. She's only in her Brave Shift form for like that one turn, on like turn 3. And you could potentially use her in certain turns if you get into like a really sticky situation at the end where she needs to maybe cover some of the hybrid damage. She can cover the hybrid damage if you need, like for some reason Abby went down and you weren't able to re-raise her, and you know, you were coming up on a turn with a lot of hybrid damage. She can cover that for you. She probably cannot tank the magic damage in this fight though. She would get destroyed because her spirit is just way too low. But yeah, she can always be there in a pinch. So I did gear her for high defense because her morale chaining skill does scale on defense. It doesn't have, it's a terrible modifier, but it does scale with defense, so you might as well buff up her defense. But I only use that on like that one turn on turn 3. But here's the gear that I use just to give her, you know, super high defense. Yep. So you don't have to really worry about that too much. Sylvie, so pretty much the same build in both forms, double Blizzard Orb, Cypher's Coat to increase her counter chance, because the ideal situation is that she counters both of the single target physicals on the zombie turns, and obviously doesn't get zombied herself. So that way whoever does get zombied dies from the first counter attack and then gets revived from the second one. All right, I don't think we actually, unfortunately, I don't think we saw that demonstrated in this clear, just because Sylvie, she only countered once on the one that lightning got hit and then died herself on the second zombie. So we didn't actually get to see that in action in this clear, but I have run it in test runs, you know, preparing for this one, and it does work. If she counters both of the single target physicals, she will bring that person back to life, and they'll be able to most importantly, they'll be able to do some type of action on that turn to, you know, kind of get back up or do some chaining or whatever it might be. Yeah, otherwise the rest of the gear is fairly irrelevant. Like, you do want to bulk up her spirit as much as you can for the damage over time, just to make sure she's not in any danger of dying from the damage over time. But other than that, yeah, pretty much same gear. I put Melissa's card on her, which you can get from the Perma VC shop, because it does the 400 morale per turn. All right, pretty much the same in both forms. I gave her a little extra spirit in here. I should have put Priestess's Vengeance on this form, because that does a little extra morale fill for you. But yep, that's all she really needs. Kaito in his normal form, yeah, he's got the Empress's Rod, Treasure Memorial Ring. You do have to give him some form of equip rod to equip that. Then in his Brave Shift form, you know, geared him, you know, even though he's not like a top tier damage dealer, you still want to try and gear him as best as you can. Just helps, you know, speed things up a little bit. So yeah, Besaid Blue Bandana has Reaper Killer on it, so that's what that's doing there. Otherwise, high attack gear, couple of Sky STMRs, because these are great because they have 50% Dragon and Reaper Killer on them, which is very nice. Indestructible Light for Chain Cap boost, and then just making sure his LB damage and killers are capped up. I gave him Wilk's card for the morale fill, all right, because this does 350 per turn on a high attack card. And then, yeah, he's capped on killers, LB damage, all that good stuff. All right, so he's good to go. All right, Skye in her normal form, you know, she is geared for some damage, but she's really not doing any damage ever in her normal form. But you do want to make sure, if you have it, put preemptive LB boost in her normal form. Or if you have like Titus's STMR, put that on her in her normal form, so that she gets this, because this does actually buff her brave shifted LB, because the first part of it has no morale on it, so that actually gets the 100 times mod boost, this first part. The second part does not, because it has morale on it, but this first part does get the 100 times mod boost, so that's pretty significant on that turn 5 burst. And then obviously Tyvus's Spirit, if you have it, because that does the 30 times mod boost, which Skye actually double dips on. That works on both parts of her brave shifted LB, which is very nice. So yeah, other than that, you don't have to really worry too much about the gear. Make sure you've got her TMR or STMR equipped, so that she gets a full LB gauge anytime she's in her normal form. In her brave shift form, she does have my other copy of Lightning's STMR, because Lightning does have the bigger sword imperil that we can take advantage of. It also has 100% machine killer on it, which is really nice for building Skye, because that's the only killer that she doesn't have innately. She innately caps Dragon and Reaper killer, as long as you have her her intrinsic ability, which you definitely want. So she had, before this, she had 150 Dragon and Reaper killer, so this materia basically caps those right away. So you don't have to worry about those at all. So then you're just making sure that you give her machine killers. All right, Bunny Bosom Buddies is there because it does the chain cap boost, and also 100% LB damage, which is really nice for Skye. So that kind of frees her up. Obviously, you can see you don't necessarily need it, because you can see that she's got tons of free space. Like, I just used Esper stats in these last 2 slots here. So if you don't have Bunny Bosom Buddies, just put a high attack vision card, and then make sure you have like Indestructible Light here. And if you're missing, I think this has machine killers on it, so yeah, you might need to do like a 50% machine killer or something in the other slot. So yeah, she's capped on machine, Dragon, Reaper, 300 LB damage. She is good to go. All right, and I think that's it. Yeah. So that's how we got it done. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys, helps you guys get that rank 1. Like I said, there's a bit of RNG there with the zombies. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, but as you can see, it's not that difficult to recover from, even if someone like Abigail dies, or if Sylvie kicks the bucket. Those are like the worst case scenarios. If one of your DPS units dies, it's not a big deal. You just work around it. But yeah, you saw in this case that we were even able to survive and come back with Abby and Sylvie dying there near the end. All right, just don't forget to get your chain cap score, your chain count score. I did it on the first one, obviously, because I have, obviously I have rank 1, so obviously the first time that I did it, I remembered to do my chain cap score, and I just totally spaced Space Cadet on the chain cap score on this one. So sorry for missing that for you guys, but let that be the lesson to you guys. Don't forget your chain count score. All right, thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.